The seating capacity is 65,000 at Ford Field, and we are right around that number today. A good crowd on hand and seemingly ready to go in the Motor City. Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the Chicago Bears and the Detroit Lions.
Jake Elliott set to kick off.
Two weeks have come and gone. It's off to week 3, and we're underway on EA Sports. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
Here we go. Set. Number 1.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. They find some open field here. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to, but they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. On 1st down, Lawrence. He's got a man, complete. Touchdown, Detroit. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. A handoff for Herbert. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. Now this defense for the Lions, much improved from week 1. They were terrific last week in getting their guys their first win of the season.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Play action. Now Jackson. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 18 yards on that one, and Chicago has the first. Well, the first drive here and the first time that we've called the big tight end's name, but I can assure you this, Charles, it won't be the last.
No, it won't, because when he gets going, now it opens up opportunities on the perimeter because that'll draw the defense towards him in the middle of the field. Now your wide receivers will get involved as this game goes on.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time, they were up to the challenge.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Open man is Kmet, the tight end. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
I'm wondering if the same thing went through your mind as mine. When I see a big man like that make a catch, all I keep thinking to myself is, big man with football. Look out, everyone. He may not juke you a whole lot, right? He may not run past you because of his size. You're talking about a guy weighing in the 270 range. But, boy, once he gets his mitts on the ball, he's going to be tough to bring down.
Jackson will throw again. That one taken in by T. Higgins. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. 2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Jackson going to hold on to it again. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. He'll get 5 out of the keeper, but now it's 3rd down. So he is able to turn that into positive yardage, but I think it's fair to say that those are not the shots you're wanting your quarterback to have to absorb.
And he has to know sometimes when to say when. You have to know when to give yourself up, and let's face it, not easy for these guys to do because they're competitors as well. But sometimes you do learn your lesson the hard.
Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Afitu Melifonwu. And the Lions are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. But that worked really well last week because he made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Now Lawrence. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. A gain there of 21 yards. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Up the middle they go. Knight. He's able to work free for about 6 down to the 18.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Knight. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
He's taken down at the 17-yard line. A gain of a yard. Brings up 3rd and 3.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Lawrence on 3rd down. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Jaquan Brisker. And the Bears are going to take possession here. It's a touchback And they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
And that felt like a little extra pressure on that third down attempt, and their mistake cost them points because they're inside the red zone. So you know you've got at least a field goal waiting for you. And in this case, they end up with nothing.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points. But then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that worked. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
Eight yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Herbert once more. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is 2nd down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Second and 7, operating from the 34. On 2nd down, a run with Herbert. And some room to maneuver. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago.
Well, earlier in the week when they had their scouting report meeting, this was the explosiveness that they talked about trying to contain. They were concerned about it all week, yet he still did it to them. Wonder how that's going to carry over the rest of the game.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
These two teams all tied after one.
With the score tied 7-7.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Here's Lawrence. The pressure gets to Lawrence, and he'll go down. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. On third down, Lawrence. That ball nearly intercepted, but he could not hang on. Oh, pick there certainly would have been nice. Instead, at least, it'll be fourth down. And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away. It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And the Bears take over. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments to prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively. Beckham will go in motion right. Another carry for Herbert on second down. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
They'll try and run for the first with Dillon. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. On 1st and 10, it's Herbert. And he is going to lose yardage here. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. And now Jackson will look to throw it. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
The Bears on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Jackson now. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 44-yard line. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that 3rd down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field. Defensively, make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off by Kirby Joseph. And the Lions are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Boy, that one was in the air for an agonizingly long time.
Just begging to be picked off, wasn't it? It's one thing if you're throwing a ball like that, trying to throw someone open or lead them into an area. But that ball needed to be thrown with a lot more conviction. As a result, it's an easy interception.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And he'll let this one go deep for Chark. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, Detroit. DJ Chark. His second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Lions have taken the lead. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Now Jackson taps his forward jet sweep, and he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. It's second down.
A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8 at the 43-yard line.
8 yards to go on second down. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. A yard in the wrong direction makes third down tougher, 3rd down and 9.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
A dime look defensively for the Lions on 3rd. Now it's Jackson. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down. The first update now from a game going on in Cleveland. That is now a 2-touchdown game with the Steelers in the driver's seat. That's one we'll continue to watch here in Week 3 of the NFL season. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And CD, sometimes you don't need those complicated game plans or the added wrinkles. Last time out, you think about it, couldn't have been any simpler. One play, one pass, touchdown.
I know those coaches put a lot of work into this game plan, but I don't think they mind possessions like that at all. They just save those calls for this possession instead.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Now Lawrence to throw. He's airing it out for Williams. And this is taken in at the 5. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Jamison Williams, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Lions will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And it's now 21-7. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here. As this old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
To throw again on second down, Jackson. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
It is certainly becoming rarer by the year to see your franchise guy take a hit like that. The defender couldn't believe he had a shot to light him up. So when you take off and run, you have to make sure you can slide, get out of bounds, anything. Just don't leave yourself open to hits like that.
Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Throwing is Jackson. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. 2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. Jackson. Got a man. It's Darren Waller. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 41-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the 1st half. Here's Jake Elliott. Career long, by the way, for him, 61 yards. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And he's going to miss this one. That is no good. Well outside the left upright. So we've reached halftime here in Detroit with the Lions out on top. As we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Bears going to see the football first, and they trail here as we get back underway to start this second half. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. All in all, pretty manageable deficit, Charles, here as they start this third quarter offensively when you consider the fact that in the first 2 quarters, they had two costly turnovers.
I think you laid it out there perfectly, partner. Very tough to hold a lead going into the break if you continue to hand it over on multiple drives.
Yeah, and obviously, Charles, it'll be very tough to climb back into the game if those turnovers continue.
I would say borderline impossible. You keep turning it over, I don't know how you make up a deficit.
Limited running room as he'll get about 3 to the 21.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Throwing is Perkins. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Amani Oruwariye.
Well, I certainly think that we're seeing a big reason why this team has struggled to put points on the board so far, because too many of their drives have ended in turnovers already, and we still have almost a full half of football yet to play.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Zonovan Knight with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Lions are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
23 yards on the play.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Kmet. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. To throw is Jackson. And again back to Kmet. And he'll be brought down at the 27. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 11 yards there, just like last play. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And it's caught. Touchdown, Bears. Cole Kmet, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Bears are able to cut into that deficit. Oh, and now they're going to fake it. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Let me go ahead and show my age a little bit. I liked it when they would fake it from the 3-yard line, right? When you'd line up, go ahead and, oh, there's a fake, and he's going to get 2. That's great. But from the 15, the risk reward, it's just not there.
It's so risky to get 15 yards on a fake. Well, you see the result right there.
Yeah, I know these young whippersnappers are trying to do different things in this game, but let's go back to old reliable. Kick the ball through the post.
Get off my lawn.
That's darn right.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Lawrence. And that's to Amon-Ra St. Brown. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go.
He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. DJ Chark, 42 yards. And the Lions have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've got to be pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, play at the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
So 2nd and 10 now here in the third quarter from Detroit. And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
And while the guys with the ball are having a whole lot of fun keeping it on the ground, the guys on the opposite side, they are having zero fun. They've been getting pushed around the entire game and haven't found an answer yet to slow down the running game.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll send a receiver here in motion right. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
And what a weapon to have when you can use your quarterback as a short yardage runner and pick up first downs.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's a give to Herbert. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Now Jackson. That's complete right side to Kmet. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. They'll run on first down. Herbert. And he's going to get this one down to the 45. He was brought down by big Levi Onwuzurike.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30. 3 quarters have come and gone. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll run here with Herbert. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. Rashawn Gary, the man to bring him down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. He'll wind up getting 3 on the keeper there, but it leads to a 3rd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
Well, there's a short throw. It's caught by Kmet. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. The Bears tried it on 4th down, unable to convert. And the Lions will take over.
Everyone gears up for 3rd down, talks about the importance of it. But 4th down, that's truly the moment of truth play, isn't it?
Everything's dialed up a little bit more. And, it's such a momentum play, isn't it?
Absolutely, because it can flip either way depending on who converts on 4th down.
5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Good gain there on 1st down. It keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down. Now Lawrence. And he'll let this one go deep for Chark. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit too.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Take it in at the 22. It's a return of 4 following a 42-yard punt.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat.
And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. He'll pick up 7 there on the first down keeper. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Multiple players getting home there, and it's a loss of 2 on the sack. We've seen him escape similar situations earlier in the game and get away for pretty good yardage, and that time they get him down.
Yeah, they've had enough evidence that he can get away and run for good yardage, haven't they? That time it felt like, okay, enough of this. Let's play it the right way and get him on the ground before he does any damage.
To throw is Perkins. Dropping this underneath with Herbert. And he will have the Bears first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5.
There are a lot of tough routes to try and cover. When you see a runner come out of the backfield and run this angle route, looks like they're going to the flat, and then they put their foot in the ground and cut back sharply inside. Not easily covered, and then when they catch it, good momentum built up by them as well.
And able to pick up the first. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And once again, not much running room, if any at all. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy is nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
They'll send a receiver in motion left. They're going on 4th down. It's Jackson. He rifles one that's intercepted.
Picked up by Afitu Melifonwu.
And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. Here's Badgley now to try to add the PAT. And that'll push the lead up to 29 now. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers you would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
And this offense on third down today, they've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. This is 3rd and 10. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
They'll try and throw for it with Jackson.
Open man is Kmet, the tight end.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. Herbert, and not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10.
There's a short throw. It's caught by Kmet.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll leave them with a 3rd and just a yard. A few moving pieces on that play because that was an RPO, was it not?
It was, but one important piece that didn't move incorrectly, the offensive line. Because when you're running this play, as he continued down the line of scrimmage, sometimes the lineman can wander downfield, and if you're more than a yard downfield, it's illegal to throw the football at that point. But they held their ground, held their spot, and turned it into a nice gain.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. He will have the 1st down as he's brought down up near midfield. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
How about that there? No frills, no additives, right? Nothing crazy. Just find a way to pick up the 1st down. A nice run right there.
Two 1st downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Play action. Now Jackson. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. So after a rare misstep on this drive, they'll try to make amends on 2nd and 15. Another try after the 1st down sack. Herbert. And incomplete here. So a little razzle-dazzle on that one, but they couldn't hook up, and it's 3rd down.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down.
Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
Talk about two sides of the ball cross purposes, because mercifully this game's almost over for the offense, but the defense, they still want to get a few shots in. That front 7, they've loved this ball game. They've been able to pad their stats, and maybe some backups can get in and get a sack as well.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go to each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for the Lions, it's back-to-back victories now after the Week 1 defeat as they move to 2-1. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the Minnesota Vikings come to town. Meanwhile, for the Bears, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Seattle Seahawks.